Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. And in today's video we're going to be taking a look at this insulated socket set from Trident Tools. Part number is T127050. And I have noticed over the last few years that there are a number of socket sets, insulated socket sets, being promoted by these cheaper brands predominantly aimed at the automotive market. I presume because of the EV cars that are now available and the higher battery voltages that they operate at, they're more inclined to need proper VDE insulated tools to work on those. So I thought I'd pick up a couple of these sets and just have a look at them to see what they were like and see if they could be used in my line of work. This particular set is a 16-piece VDE socket set, 3/8 drive. You have the ratchet, a T-bar, 2 extension bars, 150mm and 250mm, hex bits 4, 5, 6 and 8mm, and the sockets 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 17, 19 and 22mm. It's that 22mm I'm quite interested in because I do use that on some of my specialist insulated bolts that I use on the traction batteries, and it's quite unusual to see a 22mm socket in a 3/8 drive socket set, so that's quite handy for me. All comes in this little blow moulded case, quite a robust little case. It's very compact as far as socket sets go anyway. We are around about 285mm wide on this one. Height wise we are 270ish mil including the feet and the handle there, and height wise we are 60ish mil. Yeah, quite compact and fairly heavy in that respect. You have proper hinge pins at the bottom here. They are plastic, but they are proper hinge pins, not a seam, press seam that you get on a lot of these boxes. And you have little feet here, so it will stand up quite like that. And we have our carry handle at the top here. 2 plastic clasps, again on hinge pins as well, so they should last reasonably well. And then inside we have all our socketry components, all embedded in foam, fairly high density foam, solid foam in this bottom half, and then the softer open cell foam at the top here, just to keep the bits in place. Both those bits of foam are glued into the case. So we have our sockets along the top here, 3/8 drive, fully insulated VDE. They are stamped up VDE and GSA as well. We will take our ratchet out, and we've got a soft rubberized handle on this with the black, and then the plastic, red plastic is hard, smooth finish to it. We've got a push to release button on the top, so these don't actually push on until you press the button in. You have to use that to fit them and remove them, but they do fit. They're not coming off, they are on the solid. A little bit of wiggle to them, but it's fairly good. That wiggle is, it looks to be in the actual socket itself. There's a little bit of wiggle on the drive head. A fairly nice smooth ratchet, and then when you put the socket on there it does increase a little bit. That's all the socket movement there really, it's not the head moving at all. Obviously change of direction on the ratchet there. But yeah, fairly smooth, fairly well made socket. There's a little bit of seams, but your handle is all smooth to the touch. It seems quite a nice robust little unit really. Yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that. Obviously we do get the extension bars as well. These are locking. So you have the collar here that locks into place. Again, I can't push the socket on, I have to pull back, release it to fit it on. A little bit more movement on the extension bars here, but it's locked on, it's not going to come off. And then again you fit that onto the ratchet and we're away. Got full skirts on the socket and the extension bars that provide the VDE creepage, or the creepage insulation I should say, for the VDE rating. So that's that little fellow there. Our longer one, 250mm long, exactly the same. Fairly, yeah, it moves about and rattles around on that as well, but yeah, all look to be fairly nicely made. These little collars here, as well as providing the lock-in, they do act as spinners as well. So if you are spinning loose nuts on and off, you can use that to make it a little bit easier. And then we have our T-bar here. Again, reasonably unusual for a 3/8 drive socket set. Locking collar again, and I can't get them on, I have to release the collar to get it in, and then it's release again to remove it. And then this does spin as well, I believe, yeah. So if you're spinning up the T-bar, that does spin freely as well. So it's actually quite nice, quite well made. I'm reasonably impressed with this, all stamped up with the VDE and the GS markings, IEC 60900. So it all looks to be quite a good buy, really. This particular kit, Trident, is the cheapest version I could find of this, and there are a number of versions available for this. This is now, I've had it a little while, this one, currently £110, so very much at the cheaper end of the market. If you bear in mind something like the VDE set, recommended retail will be £350 pushing £400 for that set in the UK. Although you can sometimes pick that one up cheaper as well, but this is probably one of the cheapest that I could find. And whilst it is from Trident Tools, the manufacturer, I believe, is a company in Taiwan. The mark is on this state Hyperclaw 090301 is their part number. Again, all VDE GS stamped up. And Hyperclaw is a brand for My Tools Enterprise Company from Taiwan. And they do hold a VDE certificate for this under this part number. So I believe it is fully VDE certificated. I presume Trident. There's no certificate under the Trident brand name. I assume they are adopting the Hyperclaw VDE certification, since it is still labelled up as Hyperclaw. I don't see any issue with that. There's nobody trying to hide anything there with that one, really, is there? But as well as Trident Tools, you can buy this from Nielsen Tools. Part number for them is CT2770. That'll be around about £166. Laser Tools and Sealy Tools. So the Laser Tools is 6148, Sealy Tools is AK7940. I believe they are doing the same sets. That's usually 230 to 240 in the UK for them. And then finally I did find it from SATA Tools, part number 09268, but I couldn't find this in the UK from SATA Tools. For SATA Tools I got it looking at from AliExpress, which was £190, but if I buy something from AliExpress, I could face VAT and import taxes when bringing it into the UK. You just don't know until it arrives, really. So that £190 could end up with a few more quid, at least 20% up on top of it, plus courier's charge as well. So yeah, that's the whole kit. Fairly nice, fairly good case in it. Nice ratchet and smooth in operation. Seems to be a good quality build. I was quite pleasantly surprised by this, really, especially for the price that you could get it for. So there you go. Yeah, that's it. That's the Trident T127050 16-piece VDE 3/8 drive socket set. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the purchase of this, so it all seems good. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you found it useful, and I'll see you again in the next one.